With less than 2 weeks to go before a possible partial government shutdown, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy arrived at the U.S. Capitol on Monday to face the biggest challenge of his speakership: bring his divided House Republicans together to pass legislation that keeps the government open without losing his job as Speaker. Over at the Treasury Department, its chief, Janet Yellen, warned on Monday that failure by Congress to pass legislation to keep the government running risked slowing momentum in the U.S. economy, telling CNBC, quote, "Creating a situation that could cause a loss of momentum is something we don't need as a risk at this point." Late on Sunday, hardline and moderate House Republicans agreed on a short-term stopgap spending bill that would beef up border security and keep federal agencies open until October 31st. It would also cut spending by more than 8% at all agencies except for the Department of Defense and Department of Veterans Affairs, but it was not clear whether the proposal, which is dead on arrival in the Democratic-controlled Senate, would even garner enough Republican support to pass the House. Hardline activism on spending and an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden have split Republicans in the House.
I think the impeachment inquiry is long overdue.
And some members of the hardline House Freedom Caucus are openly embracing a shutdown as a negotiating tactic to get their way. Republican Representative Matt Gaetz has also raised the possibility of ousting McCarthy for not showing more progress on single spending bills and failing to move forward on other terms of the deal McCarthy made to become Speaker, which gave any one House member the power to call a vote for his removal. McCarthy said weekend negotiations with hardliners on legislation had made progress, but added, quote, "We'll bring it to the floor, win or lose, and show the American public who's for the Department of Defense, who's for our military." Unless the House can move forward on spending, Republican leaders say privately that they could be forced to move directly into negotiations with Senate Democrats on appropriations bills, circumventing the hardliners. The goal would be bipartisan legislation that could pass both chambers quickly and be signed into law by Biden. But the consequences could be dire for McCarthy, with Freedom Caucus member Ralph Norman saying, quote, "It'd be the end of his speakership."